Good morning. It is Friday, June 13th. I guess if you're superstitious, today's not a good day, but for me, it's a good day. Today, I have one objective. I have queen cells that will be ready tomorrow, and I'll need to drop them into hives tomorrow. And I need to decide which hives I'm going to requeen now, and which hives I'm going to requeen my next graft round, which will be in a couple of weeks. So I won't requeen everything. The rest of the queen cells I'm going to make nukes with. And I just need to go through my hives, figure out which ones I'm either going to requeen, wait till next time, or break down and make nukes with. Some hives just are not going to make honey this year, and those are probably the ones I'll break down and split up and make a couple of nukes out of it. It's really the only way to use those resources effectively. You can baby it and baby it. I can requeen it. By the time I get a queen in there, it won't be big enough to really make any honey. Our honey flow will be pretty well gone, and so the best use of those resources in my mind is to split those hives down and make some nukes out of them. And the nukes I can build up enough to have them ready for winter. So that's the plan today. It's going to be hot today. I think we're supposed to hit 96, 98 or something. I think we're supposed to hit 99 tomorrow. Wouldn't surprise me if we break 100 before the weekend's out. And I'd like to get this done this morning before it gets too hot. So that's the plan. I'll kind of show you which ones I'm going to break down and why I'm thinking the way I am. Okay, so you can see I've got some hives here that I've stacked honey supers on. The blue ones, or at least number 4 box is the honey super. And I've got 3 hives here that are either in 2 boxes or 3 boxes, and most likely the ones that are in 2 boxes, I'm just going to split them down and make nukes out of them. They're not doing anything. The queens their laying pattern's terrible, and they're just not building up. The one that's in 3, I may, we'll have to look at it and see if it's ready for a honey super, so it may still make me some honey. And then the rest of these that are already in 4s, I'm just going to look at and see if they're ready for a 5th box. But let's just get into this little hive right here. This hive has just struggled all spring and is still struggling. They're not building up. They're not. I gave them an extra box thinking they were ready for another box, and they're not even really up here in this box. Yeah, there's a few bees up here in this box. Hive's just not done well this year. Looks like I may have enough here. If I split this in half, I'd have 4 frames and 4 frames. And that's probably all I'm going to get out of this box. Just take a quick peek here and see what else I see. And this, I think, is a residual of just some high mite counts. I've got perforated cappings here, and I see just a chalk brood mummy or 2 on the bottom. So this queen's got to go. And in the process, yeah, I've got a little chalk brood still going on here. See, right here. This is chalk brood. This hive just needs to get a refresh. I'm going to find the queen and pinch her. Here she is. Right here. Sorry, lady. You've served your purpose. And not very well. And at this point, I will make a couple of nukes out of it. It looks like I've got enough bees here to maybe do 2 4-frame nukes. And what that's going to do is give this hive, 1, a new queen, 2, a brood break, which will help with the chalk brood. I'm just kind of looking at these frames so I can kind of even this out. Make sure I don't put too much on one side. not enough on the other. I think I can easily get 2 out of this. There we go. There, I'll make 2 hives out of this, 4 and 4. And then tomorrow I'll drop queen cells in those and we'll be hopefully off and running. That gives this, both of these, a brood break. By the time the new queen emerges and matures and mates and comes back and starts laying, this brood, the brood that's here, will have pretty well all emerged, and I'll give them an oxalic acid vaporization in about 2 weeks, and hopefully that'll kind of get them going. I'll probably need to feed both of these. That's really all I'm doing. Let's go look at this other one and see if it's going to be the same way. Or 2-box hive. Oh, I've got a few more bees here, so this one I can probably make several splits out of. Maybe not quite as much going on in the bottom. Well, I've still got, maybe 6 frames of bees down in the bottom, so this is one that I don't think they'll make me honey, but I can split this, probably get 3, maybe 4 splits out of this. We'll go from there. That's all I'm doing. This other hive that's got 3 on it, if you look, they're kind of crowded at the entrance, so I suspect they're ready for a honey super. And we'll just give them a honey super today, and hopefully they'll make me a little bit of honey. Good morning. It is Saturday, June 14th, and this is kind of part 2 of my queen rearing. Yesterday I spent the entire day just going through all my hives. Those that are making honey, almost all of them got another super. Those that are not going to make honey this year, I broke down, pulled 2 to 3 frames of bees and brood, dropped them in another box, and today's job is to just go through and take all my queen cells, drop them in those hives that need a queen now, and hopefully that's all I'll have to do. Now, since I did break some of these hives down and left the parts and the pieces in the same yard, some of these small hives that need a queen now may be a little light on bees, and I'll have to just adjust a little bit. So I may have to shake a couple of frames of bees just to make sure that they stay populated enough. But other than that, the hard work's done. Now it's the easy work. Grab the queen cells, drop them in the hives. I am going to put one of these cell protectors around the queen cell. Hives have a tendency to tear down those queen cells if they didn't make them themselves, and so I'm going to drop one of these, or put one of these around the queen cell. And if you noticed, all my queen cells had a whole bunch of burr comb built around them, so I'm going to have to cut some of that burr comb off, and just be very careful and cut that off so I can slide those on. But other than that, I think will be an easy day. Hopefully it won't take me too long this morning to do it. I'll show you a couple and we'll go from there. All right, I'm going to get into it. So just so you kind of see what's going on, this is my cell builder hive, and this is the original hive that it came from. I'm going to put these 2 back together and just make one hive out of it, and it's going to have a whole ton of bees. And I probably should have brought another super for it, but I think it'll be okay, because I did, come to think about it, I did add another super here, so I think we're going to be okay there. Here's the hives that I made up. These 2 in the background that are single story, and the one on the left is the one that was not doing well, so I broke it down. And from it, and I stole a frame or two from some other hives. I made this other single story, and then this is actually 2 4-frames and then a 5-frame nuke here. So out of that one colony, I have really made 5. I did steal a little bit of brood from, let's see, this one, which was going nuts, and this one, which is still going nuts, and they won't miss it at all. They've got brood coming on there. This one's, I've got 7 boxes on this. One of them stays as their honey super for winter, but the other 4 are honey supers for me. So this hive's one of those that just is going nuts. You can see the rest of the hives, 2 or 3 supers on them, which isn't too bad. This one here is not doing quite as well. It's only got 1 super. And then when I get this combined back together, it's going to be up to 7 as well. So looking pretty good. So at the moment, we've got to take this whole stack off for a minute. Take this one, we're going to slide it over, turn it back around, and then we'll stack all of these back on top. As you can see, this one is still just gobs of bees. They're still bearding. I don't think they'll swarm. Well, they don't have anything to swarm with in this stack right here. And I'll go through this stack again pretty good just to make sure that they're not in swarm mode, but I didn't see anything yesterday that I thought indicated they were going to do that. And I gave them extra space. So let's pull the graft frame up and out. Since I have to transport them to my other yards, the grafts are going to go in here. And I think I'll pull a couple of frames up and out along with the grafts. That's going to go in there just to keep those grafts company. The brood's all hatched out and they've backfilled it with honey, which is just fine. So this box is back together and I can take my grafts. I'm just going to put the lid on them, set them in the shade. And this box is completely full. Oh yeah. And this is the box I added yesterday. So it's empty. And this box is almost completely full of honey. I'm going to pull this off. And we're going to turn this around. I want to kind of check this hive. So this is the original hive that I made the cell builder from. And I just want to check to make sure they don't have anything silly going on, like queen cells all over the place. That looks pretty good. I've got a queen cup, nothing in it. I'm just going to kind of go through these frames and make sure we're good. Now they've actually completely filled that with honey. I may move that frame up into that next box. There's my queen. She's right here. So queen's good. Not seeing any queen cells. That's all honey. I'm definitely going to move that up. Give them some empty space for the queen to lay down here in this bottom box. That's all honey. I got 3 frames of honey. So she's kind of getting honey bound down here. And that's an impulse for them to swarm. So we don't want to do that. There's another frame completely full of honey. No queen cells though. Okay, this is more brood. Let's leave this in the center. And this is undrawn, so I'm going to let it go. They're drying on it. They're working on it. One side's drawn out. Maybe I'll move it up into a honey super. All right. here's a couple of frames. Looks like I need 5 frames of drawn comb. There's a couple of frames that are mostly empty. Some of it needs to be drawn a little bit, but that's okay. There's another one, and that one's not too bad. Alright, so now what I've done is I've pulled out some of the honey that they've backfilled the brood nest with, and I've replaced it with drawn comb that's empty drawn comb. That gives the queen some immediate space to lay in, which relieves some of the swarm pressure. Now we can kind of put things back together. Queen excluder goes on. Directly above the queen excluder, I'm going to put this box, which is mostly empty. There's a couple of drawn frames here in the middle. There's a couple of undrawn frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe, yep, 5, 6 undrawn frames. That gives them space right above the brood nest. Again, that gives them the feeling that they need to be doing something. This box is not quite full. Still got some room in there. Let's put this one back on. This was the box I was pulling all the empty frames from. We're going to put all these full frames back in it. And as you can see, I'm getting rather tall here, and I have 2 more boxes to go. And because it's so tall, I'm going to push this back just a little bit and leave a bit of a gap right here, just big enough for a bee. That gives them another upper entrance and some added ventilation. And since this is getting as tall as it is, I think what I'm going to do, because the other box is heavy, rather than stack it up here on this one, I think I'll stack it on this one next to it, just to save my back. My lid can go back on, and my lid does have an upper entrance as well, which they do use. You saw that in the swarm video. They were just pouring out of it. And there we go. Cell builder all put back together. And I've got bees flying all over the place. And that's okay. You notice I've got all these bees trying to figure out where home went. Give them an hour and this will all calm down. They'll figure it out. And that'll be that. Now just to I'm going to take this extra box and I'm going to put it up here on this hive, this shorter hive right now. This one goes there. Now this hive that's growing but a little bit smaller just got a full box of bees, and that will help them. And I could again leave a gap here. Maybe I will. As hot as it's supposed to be. Just like that. And there we go. All right, that's the hard part for the day. The easy part for the day is, let's take the queen cells and drop them in these nukes. Make sure these nukes have enough bees in them and give them a queen cell. Let's just check population. Make sure I didn't have too much drift last night. Oh no, there's plenty of bees in that one. That one's ready to go. Now, these are regular. This is a regular box, and I've put a divider down almost the middle. Here's my divider board. That's the same width as a frame. And so I've just lost one frame. So this side has 4 and this side has 5. And it works out just fine doing it that way. So let's just make sure these ladies have enough food. A little bit of nectar, a little bit of brood. You see, I kind of got distracted with what I was doing. Now that's a pretty good, it's a decent food frame. And those two should be brood, and I can see that they are. Okay, I wish they had just a little bit more nectar than this. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is pop a lid on one of these others and pull a frame of honey out. Okay, there's a good food frame. That'll keep this hive going for a while. Okay, what about this side? That's empty. That's got brood, that's got brood, that's got a little bit of brood. Yeah, see this one I should have put a little bit more food in this one. There's a good food frame for them. We've got plenty of bees. Okay, those two are ready for queen cells. Let's check these two. Make sure I didn't leave them too light. Got plenty of bees. It's got plenty of pollen on one side. I can feel the weight on this one. It's got plenty of nectar. So I think this one's good. Ready for a queen cell there. That's got nectar in it. And that's got nectar in it. So I'm good there. This one's ready to go. All right, let's grab queen cells. There's my queen cells, but I'm gonna have to cut out some of this. Maybe I'll take these here on the end to begin with. I've got something else maybe going on. I can see what's going on here. This one's, I think the larval fell in it, so that's not a viable one, and then they've started chewing it out to get rid of the cells. So I'm down one. I can still see the larvae down here in the bottom of it. It fell right there. Down one more. Well, using my pocket knife to clear away some of this webbing. Trying not to get into the cell itself. Just pull that out. I'm going to set this down here for a second. And it's got, the cell's got webbing all the way around, and the covers, the cell protector is not going to go on very easy. So I'm just going to carefully use my pocket knife and cut that away just a little bit. This just goes right on here. Again, I don't want to mash anything, so I'm trying to be careful and cut away any extra. There. That went on there pretty good. And the bottom's open, so she can come out the bottom. I'm just going to separate this a little bit. I like to put her down in far enough that she's going to get covered. Okay, done. Put the lid back on. Some people just take these queen cells and just drop them in just as is, and it works. Sometimes though the hive will tear it down, and the cell protector's just there to kind of keep that from happening long enough for her to emerge. She should emerge from that cell in probably 2 days. Whoops. Here I talk about cell protectors and then I don't put one on. And that's really all I'm doing. Pretty easy. Make sure they've got enough bees and food. Drop the queen cell in and go to the next one. And I will leave all of these alone for the next 2 weeks. I won't touch them. Just let them go. That's why I'm trying to make sure they've got enough food. So I'm just going to leave them alone. I won't touch them for 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, I should start seeing eggs. If I see that the queen's come out, but she's not laying yet, I might give her another few days to see if she's got mated and come back. But usually I have pretty good success. There's always going to be a few that don't mate successfully, or they don't come back successfully, or for whatever reason they don't emerge out of their cell. Maybe the larva wasn't viable, but so I I expect about a 15, maybe a 20% loss rate. But at this point, I should hopefully end up with a few nukes that'll start building. I'll build them up for winter, overwinter them, and then I'll either use them to replace my dead outs or I'll sell them off in the spring. Hope your bees are doing well, and it's going to be a hot one today, so I'm going to get through this. And probably the next time you see me, I'll be in Alabama. Jed Smith and Bracken Barker and I are all going down to help Bruce extract honey. I'm not sure whether this is because Bruce likes me or he doesn't like me, because this just sounds like a whole lot of work in hot, muggy, humid weather. And but it's okay. Excited to go, excited to rub elbows with a few people down there and get to know a few. So probably next time you see me will be in Alabama. Have a great day. Well, things didn't go quite as planned. As I got going through and dropping queen cells into hives, I found out there were more queen cells that did not develop. They were empty, but they put so much just burr comb and webbing between them that I really couldn't see them, and I thought they were okay. So I didn't have 5 that I lost. I had more like 12. So I'm short about 7 queen cells, and I have hives all made up ready for queen cells and no queen cells. So I'm going to have to rethink and redo. What I think I'm going to do is I have some hives here in my yard that I was going to put 7 in. I have 6 here in the back of my truck, and I only have 6 queen cells. So I have 13 hives and 6 queen cells. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these that were in a different yard. I'm just going to combine them and make up some strong nukes, and we'll just do 6 instead of 13 and just make it work. And then the next round, hopefully I get a little better take on the next round. But anyway, you do what you have to when you're given lemons. You try to make lemonade, I guess. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll just combine these with the ones here at the house, and I'll just make as many as I can make, and we'll just go from there. Then the next round of queen cells, then I'll make up a few more. So anyway, life just never goes quite as you planned it. You just got to roll with it. So that's what I'm doing.